Since moving in, we've had a gazillion messages basically about moving in. Funny enough. Not just about like us and the house, how we're feeling, etc., but also about like just like adulting, right? Because it's a fucking mission. They don't teach you this shit in school, do they? Let's be honest.
Nah.
So this is our first time buying a house, so it's kind of like we learn as we did it. Literally, it felt like I was learning a new subject. It was hard. My brain, done for. Answer all your guys' questions, went onto the gram, you sent them in, whether it's about this house, the process in general, us. Okay, maybe we can get started. Question 1, in terms of, why did I say it like that? Like we're on a fucking game show. Sorry. In terms of buying the showroom, did you have to pay more as it came furnished, etc.? That is a very good question, and a question we got asked so much. It was like in the top like 3 questions. Simple answer, yes. I don't, to be honest, I can't even give you like a figure of how much more we paid, because to be fair, I don't even really know. Other houses on our estate that are like the same house, you know, you got like on a new build estate, you have like the 5-bedroom houses that look the same, then the 4 bedrooms, 3, etc. When we first come, we looked at other ones and they were cheaper, but obviously this was more number one because of the furniture, and I think some of the like what do you call it,
worktops.
Yeah, like worktops.
Yeah,
and
like do you know what, it's not even the furniture that's like the main thing, it's like the random mirrors, like the Cardian floor, the granite worktops, like things like that.
We got the more like premium.
Yeah.
The cost that they put into the actual showroom was a little bit more than the other houses.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely was more to get it all.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
It was more, basically.
I think so. This one?
Okay.
The question is, what is it like living together? Jake, what is it like?
Amazing, obviously. Like, it's just so good. Like, Jordan's like amazing to live with. You know, she's always happy. She never cries. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just so good to live with each other. Of course.
True, I am a sad bitch all the time at the moment, but that's regardless. For the most part, yeah, it's fab. Obviously, we knew we were moving in together, of course, so I feel like we mentally prepared ourselves for it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it is hard, and there are times where we literally want to like strangle each other.
Yeah.
But those moments don't take away from the best moments, if that makes sense. I mean, we're in a relationship together. Of course, we're going to have moments where we're like sick of each other. Like we live with each other. We spend most of our time, in fact, all of our time together.
Exactly.
Every single day we're together.
Gonna bicker, and
100%.
do you know what though? It's little things that like
It's little,
say, like,
it's little
that
things.
I would have done at my mum's, and like that Jordan would have done. So like things, the way I do things are different to the way she does things.
We've sat down with each other a couple of times and have just spoke about stuff, and yeah, he had a different routine at his mum's and I had a different routine back at home. Like, so it's learning each other's routines and kind of finding like the middle where like we're both happy. Plus it's little things like Jake leaves his shit everywhere and I'm like, Jake.
And Jordan's just like doesn't. You should see the room right now. It's like literally nowhere. Like,
Stop
I think
taking
the
the
1,
piss.
2, 3, 4,
Shut
5,
up.
6 boxes over there aren't Jordan's.
That's PR. That
One,
is
two,
PR.
three,
PR.
3 boxes there, and then anything on the table isn't Jordan's either. I think I've got 2 things on the yeah. Okay, yeah. To be fair, I leave my stuff everywhere.
And the bickering begins. Good days, bad days. I think as well, prepare. Right, this is the stuff that they don't tell you. Right, when you see people moving online, it seems like the best thing ever. Right, let me tell you something. I'm not the most emotional person ever. However, I, for the first like, oh my God, how many weeks?
2-3 weeks at least.
Yeah, about 3 weeks, was crying every single day. That made me think that, I was like, oh my God, have we made the wrong decision? Like, have we moved in too quick? Is this right? Like, I just started having all these emotions going in and I was like, am I crying? Like, is it like living with Jake? Did I not want to? And it wasn't anything like that. And I actually like Googled it to make sure. I know Google will tell me I'm dying, but just hear me out. It's something, it sounds really like deep, but it's something like relocation depression or something it's called, where obviously your whole life has changed. So you've got to get used to it. Not only are you living with someone different and having a different environment, but the place you're living is different. Like I walk out the door and it's not the same. I've got to get used to the area. You also have responsibilities now, so you've got to learn to do that. Everything just added up. I was missing everything like so bad.
So yeah, that's the same though for me. Like, it's my mum, like mad. Like, I mean, it gets easier because you start to then realise that when you do see each other, it's like more quality time. Getting used to like that is fucking hard, but
it was hard, but you also do learn that they aren't gone forever and you will see them again. Moving in will mess with your emotions like hardcore. It's the best thing ever, but it's also is like the worst thing at first because everything you need to adapt to.
Depends what sort of person you are though.
Oh, definitely.
So it depends, like, if you're like, I want to get out of this house, blah, blah, blah.
Some people get on with it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like me, I was like
yeah, no, as soon as mum went out the door, I was like,
crying. I was
crying in bits.
Why am I crying all the time? Jake would leave a packet of crisps on the side and I'm like, Jake, stop it.
Like, I haven't even finished with it, Jordan.
Day by day it does 100% get easier, and don't feel, if you're like moving into a house and you feel the same, don't think it's not normal. It is a normal thing to feel like that, for sure.
Smiles at the front of your house with door keys, like, yay, like that. Do you know what I mean?
Moving
It's
in.
not like that at all.
No.
Well, some people it might, but not for me.
We're settling in, and I feel like we're settling in as well.
Yeah.
As in, like, together. Living together.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
We're getting better. He'll be hating me in 5 minutes, probably.
Chelsea are on right now, and I did want to watch them.
Guys, this is what I live with. Also, prepare, ladies, if your man's into football or your woman's into football, whatever like your vibe is, prepare. This is what I deal with all the time.
Do you know what?
Football is, Sky Sports is on 24/7. Can someone come save me?
Honestly, there's games on every single fucking day.
Yeah, but it's not just games. If he's not watching football, he's watching F1. If he's not watching F1, he's watching freaking cricket. If he's not watching cricket, he's watching I don't even know what's on.
Golf.
Listen,
Then
golf.
cricket, or then F.
See,
or then,
what
yeah.
it just,
You don't usually complain.
to be fair, it does mean you're quiet for a few hours.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a big old question, but I feel like we'll throw it out there. How was the process, start to finish? The legal side, talks with agents, /banks, etc. Where do we freaking begin? So, let me think of all this. So,
Your fingers are bending back so far, it's fucking
so
disgusting.
yeah,
How far back her fingers
just because
go.
you don't bend.
Oh, I broke her. Like, it's going like the whole way back. It's fucking grim.
Just come gangly. Leave me alone with me and my chicken feet. Stage 1. You speak to a broker or a bank, whatever your way
you
is.
sign
We went to go to a bank and they were a bit like iffy. They're a bit funny. The way
Actually a bit rude, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, it was a bit rude to be
Yeah,
fair.
a bit fucking rude.
I walked out feeling this big.
You know how car salespeople judge you when you walk in, right? If you walk in a tracksuit and
Yes.
they're like, oh, don't even go speak to me, ain't gonna buy a car. Little didn't know, money bags over here.
One thing is walking in and being 22, wanting to buy a house, or was I 21 at the time? 21, 22. Going in being like, this is how much money I want to spend, help me, to then be made to feel like, you can't afford that. I was like, I'm not going with a bank. Personally, that's my personal experience. We went to a broker in the end who was recommended to me from my accountant. He's called Peter from Tyler Mortgage Management, in case anybody wants to use them. Before or at the same time, you have the broker, you're obviously looking for houses so that he knows your kind of budget and what you're looking for, so then he knows how much to ask the bank for. When that's all sorted, you then go to whatever bank he chooses, whatever is the best interest rates. They get a mortgage in principle. The mortgage in principle is basically saying, hi, we're the bank, we'll lend you money. You then take that.
Hi, Gloria here.
No, you can then show the people that you're buying the house from that. You then end up getting the mortgage. That happens. In the meantime, between all of this, you of course need a solicitor, which will deal with all like your legal side of stuff. What's your land? What's your property? Checking that if you've got like fields around you, if they're going to end up building anything on it. Checking all that side of things. My sister used Josh from Harrington Carmichael, I believe it's called. I'll leave all of these down below in case you are interested in who we used. I don't know, it might be helpful. I didn't know where to go. I just thankfully had people who recommended me them, or Chantel, who, hey girl, if you're watching, hello. A good friend of ours recommended Josh because she's in that firm industry, so anyway. Also as well, in the whole like house buying process, there will be a gap where it goes really silent for a while. It's where the solicitor is doing all that he needs or she needs to do. Then what happens is it then gets to exchange and completion. So at exchange, you send your deposit money over to your solicitor. When it comes to your completion date, your solicitor will send over the money to whoever you're buying the house from. They'll call you up being like, hey babes, not literally.
I hope fucking not. Anyway, what fucking solicitor?
It wasn't actually Josh that called me up to complete. It was someone called Natalie. Or Natasha, I can't remember. And then they say, you can go get your keys, and you go get the keys, and then you move in. That sounds pretty simple, it's not. There's back and forth talking between everyone, but that's like the main stages to buying a house, roughly. That is a sketch. Okay, we're not filling in yet. When you fill in, prepare yourself. But the sketch, there you go.
What are you on about?
Side note though, don't let that intimidate you or like freak you out, because everybody will help you through it all. So don't be afraid to like ask for help, but they will help you. So don't. No, because I'm an overthinker. And when I first started doing it, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I was like, Jake, I was like, please just take over, help me. I can't do it anymore. I was too afraid to ask, but just say, look, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a first time buyer, help.
I think the thing you've got to remember is they need you more than you need them, because there's plenty of them but only one of you, so they want the business. So still ask, don't, feel in control, because there's always plenty of other people.
And a broker is good because they, number one, they will not take a penny from you until you get them keys in your hand. Number two, their job is to find you a house. Their job is to get you a house, get you on the ladder, do it all for you.
Yeah.
So that's why I personally would recommend a broker. That's our route that we went down, and it was lovely. Now we got a house. I can cheers to that. Next cue is, how many houses did you look at before picking this one? A couple.
Because we looked at one, didn't we? And then like another new build site, and
oh my god, we were actually quite close to
we were like,
getting that.
Could be, just on the off chance, I needed the toilet really bad. Or we'd done like a day of driving around to like estates and stuff and seeing what
we like to take ourselves first before we call up anybody to go look at a house, because we like to know the area. We're big on area, aren't we? So we went to do that, and then carry on, sorry.
And then I was like, right, one last place we'll go to. It's because I really needed a wee as well, and I knew they'd have like an office.
So I
went in there. I was like, I can go to the toilet and also look at the house.
Beautiful, like 4-bedroom house in a different area to this one. Still relatively local, but different. The plot that we were looking on, though, the house that we wanted, weren't built yet. Yeah. And they were like, it's not going to be built till next year.
It was probably like now, though, like December.
Kind of starting to be invested in this. We sat down, we had a chat with the girl, and we proper started like looking into this house. And we even drove, how long was it? Like nearly 2 hours away to go look at the showroom.
Down
because
in Kent,
the showroom, how the house that wasn't built yet, but the one that we were potentially looking at, how it looked was how the showroom looked 2 hours away.
They had a showroom on a different site of that house that we were going to build.
So we drove there, looked at it. We were like, it's lush. We really like it.
Yeah.
But it was missing something.
Yeah, and we were walking around it trying to make ourselves like it. We were going, but if you took this out, this would look good. Or, but if you did that, it would look good. And
the area was...
the location, the plot of the house was all good. And I think that was one of the main things. The plot was really good. So we were like, you're trying to make yourself like this house because you wanted that plot, didn't we? Do you remember? And it was just like...
Yeah, location and plot was great. There was just, in terms of the actual house itself, things were missing. We ended up obviously not dealing with it. Corona come round as well, like a few months after, and it kind of put everything on pause for us. So it was kind of like the universe trying to tell us something as well. Prior to that as well, we would drive around to other like areas, other houses. We'd go on Rightmove all the time. When we Rightmove, Zoopla, constantly looking. We were looking for a while. We were definitely looking for a while.
Yeah, definitely. And we went and saw a couple. That was a beautiful house we saw.
Also, there was actually another question on here. I may as well add it in now, seeing as we're kind of on topic. And it was something along the lines of, were you only looking at new builds, or was you looking at other types of houses as well? We weren't only looking at new builds in the beginning. We definitely were looking. We saw a beautiful one, right? The garden was huge.
And the driveway was just like ridiculous.
Palace.
No, I'm joking. Big old separate garage on the driveway, and it was like on the side there, the house in front, like massive stone driveway, like 15 car worth. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was huge. Yeah. Inside needed renovating massively. Every single room. At the time, we didn't rule it out, because we were thinking about like, it could be a project, right? However, then when we did then eventually start looking at new builds, we were thinking, this is more suited for us. It is.
Move in, easy.
We just wanted it to be as easy as possible because we just didn't want the stress. Plus, we are the kind of people, we're really impatient. We just want to get in. And as much as the idea of renovating to make it look exactly how you want gets us going, new builds for us was definitely the option that worked for us and our lifestyles the best. I needed the space for work quicker. We just wanted to be together quicker, so that's what worked for us. But we definitely didn't rule it out. When it comes to house buying, I think keep your options open. The more you look at, and the more you do keep your options open, the more you realise what you want.
We're like, we'll never buy a showroom, or like we'll never buy one, whatever. And then you come in, and everything just feels right. You just know.
Do you think this is your forever home, or do you see yourself moving out in 3+ years?
Ooh, that's quite a good one.
What's your answer?
My honest answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, lie to us all.
Okay, no, I don't see forever, no, because there's always bigger and better things. Definitely for like a while, it's plenty big enough. We've only just got into it, and we haven't even put our own touch on it yet. In fact, the only room we have started, we don't even like how we've done it. So,
we changed our mind.
Yeah, I don't think it's probably 20 years of a house. 10 years, Like, what about you?
Start a debate. No, I'm kidding. No. To be fair, I'm pretty much the same. I don't really adapt to change well. Right? I'm not like a travel bug. Like, I don't want to move from house to house to house. I definitely think, about like 10 odd years here. The reason why we did get a house this big, number one, obviously I got a lot of shit, so does Jake. Number two, I saw into the future and thought like, one of like rooms we can renovate into kids' rooms, or Do you know what I mean? Not anytime soon.
I'm joking.
Chill.
No,
You're starting to sweat. Are you alright?
Fuck off.
Are you alright?
Totally honest with you, right? I'll be totally honest with you.
What?
I'm not like that. Be totally honest. Right now, makeup room, walk-in wardrobe room, our room, spare room, games room, already full. You start to add a kids room in there. You've got no spare room.
No, but here's the thing. In a few years down the line, when that does become our life will be different. Now we're young, right? And when Corona isn't being such a bitch and we can actually have people over and to stay, obviously because we're still young, we want that. We want people to come around, have some drinks. However, when we're 27, 28, 29, 30, our life will be very different. If we cannot fit a kid in a 5-bedroom house, fuck this shit. Life is cancelled. What do you need, a mansion, babe?
Why not?
I mean, manifest that shit.
Exactly.
Respect.
Why the fuck not?
Fair play, fair play.
If you said, you know, when we're fucking hell, like
30.
yeah, that's 7 years away, and you go, maybe actually, you don't know, because you might all of a sudden have won the lottery, then why would you say, like that sort of thing.
Or just, you know, the older you get, the more your life plan changes,
yeah, and
right?
do you know what as well?
You have different paths in life, and you know, I think as you grow up, they change. It's like the difference between when we was 18 to now is very different. We had very different life intentions, the same as when we're 22, 23, when we're now going to be 29, 30. Very different.
And do you know what? So, the countryside. We sort of live semi-countryside, would you say?
We're not in the middle of nowhere.
But you can walk like into the countryside in like 5 minutes, okay?
Yeah, easy.
It's so nice. Like, it's so nice, isn't it? Like, on Christmas Day, we went for a walk here. Not a car on the road, that sort of thing. You go, oh, maybe we'd like to move out further into countryside, or maybe you'd like to buy some bit of land so you've got all that field.
Yeah, I agree. Not forever home, but for a good while home. Yeah. Another question that got asked a lot to do with saving, which I completely understand, because that is people's biggest thing. How the fuck do you afford a house, right? I get it. How on earth do you save up for a deposit? For me, obviously, I'm very, 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 very fortunate. It was easier than normal, I guess you could say, right? Yeah. However, I feel like I can speak on saving.
I would say you could, because the thing is, right, she earns a lot of money, straight up, okay? Everyone knows you do.
When it comes to money, I get really fucking awkward.
I just feel weird and awkward. Because you've earned it, okay? You've earned it.
I know,
the
but even still, babe, I'm just very lucky, sorry.
Well, there's an element, but there's an element of hard work and there's an element of everything, okay? Everyone has luck in life. The thing is, right, Jordan could have been driving a G-Wagon, had every designer, Dior coat, bag, Louis Vuitton bag, anything you could have wanted, okay? But instead put it in the bank. So like, it's very like deserved in that sense, because I'll tell you now, if I had the money, you wouldn't have seen me in a house like this, but you'd have seen me in a Lamborghini and being broke in 10 years time. That's the difference, okay? So at her age as well, to have like a car, like a house like this, because didn't buy the silly things, you know, doesn't go selfish every weekend and buy herself whatever. Fair play if you do, whatever. Do you know what the most expensive thing she ever bought, right? Dior bag, and I literally to put the fucking card in the machine for herself.
I definitely think I can speak on saving, because it's exactly what I did do. The question I'll ask you is, what do you really want from life, right? For me, no, that sounds deep, but for me, really wanted a house. That was my number one thing. Apart from when I was like 16, I really wanted to drive, right? Did that. What was next on my list? A house. I fucking want a house. That is my biggest goal in life. Houses as well are the biggest investment that you will ever do.
Yeah,
you'll earn money. You always earn money, right? So if you're passionate about it, you will want to do it, right? Put it to the top of your fucking list. I had a house at the top of my priority list. If I want a new car, well, that can come after. That's my next treat.
Now it's time for a G-Wagon then.
Now it's time for a G-Wagon. Let's go. Hustle. I'm going to be hustling. Listen, like little things. Put your dream house as your screensaver on your phone, right? So every time you pick up your phone, because let's be honest, it's always in everybody's hands these days, you see it. You know what you want. Think about little ways you can do. Also, there's a really good saving method that I saw on TikTok. You get like a certain amount of envelopes. I can't remember the amount, but then you put money in it every like month, every week or something, right? And in the end, you end up with like an insane amount of money that you would never think you'd be able to save. But just by putting it in there and keeping it stashed away somewhere, you're like, oh my god, shit. Like at the end of like a year, you'll be like, oh my god, I've saved that. And you don't even realize, because it's not in your bank account and it's in physical form, you forget about it. Loads of things you can do. And if you don't trust yourself with your money, if you've got someone that you really, really trust, like your mum or your dad, or get them to look after money for you, like transfer the money every week or month or whatever. And then again, they'll save that up for you. And then suddenly you'll have all this amount. But I reckon the best way to do it is that sometimes out of sight, out of mind, because if it's chilling in your bank account there, the temptation is a lot.
Does to me,
right?
It burns a hole in my pocket.
Yeah, I feel like I've taught you a lot about saving.
She has. I used to be shitting money.
If you're passionate enough, you'll do it. I want to move out, but I don't. You can do it.
Do you know what the best thing I've ever done was?
Tell us.
remove your card from your phone, like as in like auto. You know, like when you're checking out and then you go, I need to add my card details. I don't have my card details.
Oh, like on your phone, you can
Yeah, so say,
automatically.
just for example, you're on Boohoo, you're buying a load of outfits, right? Add your card details. You don't have them saved yet, and you're like, oh, my wallet's upstairs. You forget about it, like that's.
You never end up doing it.
Yeah.
Don't always just use me as an example. I know some people will see me as an exception. However, I still saved. I didn't get this by not say. Like, do you think that I got handed this? I saved for this. I didn't do one job and get this, guys. I saved for this. If you want it, put your mind to it and you want it enough, you can do it. It's as simple as that. Full stop. End that shit. Okay? Were you guys nervous to move in together, and would you suggest a trial period before, like a test, to see if we will last? Nervous?
I wasn't nervous at all, to be fair.
I was nervous to move in, but not nervous to move in with Jake.
Yeah, like
Makes
that
sense?
wasn't like an issue. Trial period. I could see why people would. I could see why some people would do a trial period. We've done like lodges and stuff. I know it's not as long or whatever.
But we spent periods
like,
of time
you spend
together.
like 5 days here, 7 days there, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, tested the waters a little bit. Plus as well, I'm just gonna keep it real. When you know, you know. Do you know what I mean?
Has she ever been fucking cute? When is she ever
Jake
cute?
always thinks I'm a fucking bitch.
Do you know what?
I'm
Sometimes she'll
not.
go. Sometimes yeah, she says like this word goes like "love you" like that, right? And I'm like,
Jake's like, did you just
She's
fucking
just like-
say I love
she
you?
just
Can
said
everybody
love
listen?
you.
Get the sirens out. You have to just trust yourself and how you feel as well. Plus, I mean, if you want to do a trial period, cool. Like, sure. I don't know. Like, move in with each other for a couple weeks when you can. Or
the thing is that you'll know you're on a trial period. I know it sounds silly, yeah, but if you want it, you'll make it work like that. So it's not natural because you're gonna be like, right, we're coming on. We're going on a trial period. Let's not fucking argue so we can move in together.
so we can do it together. Yeah, you'll like almost force yourself to be good.
Yeah, you'll bite your tongue here.
You need it to naturally happen. But I think also take into consideration if you've gone on holiday together, how were you when you went on holiday together? When you spent that more time together, did you both really love it? Did you enjoy it?
Holidays are always the one that will like.
Yeah, or I just think you'll know inside if you want to live together. You just know. Like, I can't explain it until you're at that moment in your life, but you will just know that you want to spend every day with this person, and that's just how it is.
The thing is as well.
You're loving this. He is like
I'm
fucking
just, like, filling myself up a
vibing.
bit.
Can I just go? You carry on. I'm gonna go get the wine.
Also, right, the thing is that you don't actually spend as much time together as you think. Well, you do, you don't. But like, I almost feel like sometimes you don't spend as much time together because you live your own life, but together. So like, you know, like you come in, like
you're independent together. It sounds silly, but you're independent together.
Yeah, so like when like gyms are open, yeah, it's like yes, you still live in the same house and that, but it's like coming from work, get changed, go to a gym. Jordan might be watching TV on the sofa, and then
might be editing a video.
Yeah, might be eating some chocolate. Who knows?
Who knows what we're doing?
And I'll be like, right, I'm gonna have a shower.
Might be
get
masturbating.
changed.
Who knows?
Probably. Yeah.
You probably know me. How did you know the? No, sorry. What? Good, good start. How did you know what area you wanted to live in? Do you stay in the same area that you was in? Do you move out further? Very, very personal preference. For us, we knew we wanted to be local enough that we could get to people in a relatively decent time, but not round the corner. That's you could just go, hello, like look out our window and see someone that we know. Plus, we knew we differentiated between do we want like a city life or do we want like a more countryside life? You can see yourself there. Like picture yourself living there.
Exactly.
Like do you want a life where there's less people and it's less busy, or do you like the busyness, the hustle and bustle? We're kind of like, are you okay? He's so like tired. He's all like,
it's like me in the morning.
no. You woke up the other morning. And what did you say to me? You went, come give me a kiss. I'm going to expose you on the internet. I went, hello, like that. And he went, Jordan, come give me a kiss and a cuddle. And he went, why? He went, come here, come unlock me.
Fuck off, man. Fuck off. Why don't I even say that? I was so asleep and I don't know what
He was. And probably about 3 seconds later,
I'm about to
falling
sleep
back to sleep.
Come and look me.
Somebody asked this, which is probably, this is the biggest part of house buying. How easy was it for you to get a mortgage? We kind of briefly touched on it earlier, but kind of hard actually. It was a little bit difficult. The best way to just kind of describe it, this is from a perspective of being self-employed and my personal scenario. Where I'm a limited company, how it all works, in a simple way is that I kind of end up paying myself a wage from this limited company, right? The bank looked at me, and yes, I have a certain figure in my bank account, but they didn't look at what was sitting in my bank account. They looked at how much I technically paid myself yearly. Obviously, there was a decent difference. So they then looked and was like, well, you don't have access technically to money, even though I do. I have access to my money at any point that I need it. Ended up putting more down on a deposit than we intended to, just to fill the gap of.
Also,
it just got complicated. It basically just made it complicated. But
also, yeah, I mean, the thing is, Jordan doesn't get paid like most people. 1 month can be like here, 1 month could be like there. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
Up, down,
100%.
up, down. So whereas on a salary, you know what you get for the year.
I basically had to put in as much possible proof as possible to show that I had income coming in that I said I had coming in. So whether it's like future contracts, being self-employed, it does kind of not complicate things, but it does add a bit of added pressure, I guess. For a normal situation, it could still be difficult though. Like banks are harsh.
Yeah.
They do look through everything, which in one hand I understand because, you know, they want to make sure that you can afford it, but just keep going. And also remember as well that there are more banks than one out there, and your broker and everything will make realistic decisions for you too, and will let you know like whether they think it's like doable or not. The whole house buying process takes a while. Don't think it's like within a month it will happen. We from looking to getting, we would, oh god, probably like over a year, but like from actually finding this house to the end process, it probably took us 7-8 months. So this one I 100% want to answer just because I know a lot of people had questions. Even I did when I first started. What are all the different costs? For example, mortgage, solicitor fees, etc. Very interesting that. We didn't touch on that earlier either. I can't give you like figures because everybody will be different, but for each thing, expect probably like a couple grand. Okay, so just allow me to clarify this. I realized by me saying a couple grand, it's like I'm almost summarizing that everything will cost a couple grand, and I didn't quite mean it like that. By a couple grand, I meant, you know, like a couple grand for a solicitor, a couple grand for a broker. Stamp duty can be like a good few grand. It really just depends on the size of your house. And then bills and that, it's not going to be a grand. Like bills are just like a monthly payment thing, and it really depends, but look, you get what I mean, right? I just needed to clarify that. Broker or bank, however you go down, your deposit for the house. I paid as well a little fee. It was like I think it gets returned to you, but I think it's like some sort of like holding fee. Yeah, holding fee. I think it was like a holding fee. Stamp duty. At the moment though is very different because of Corona, but on a normal kind of like occasion, stamp duty is there. With Corona though, just in case anyone buys in between now and March, I think it goes on till, you will save. It depends on how much your house costs, depending on how much you save, or you don't have to pay anything, right? Anything else? Things you have to pay when you move in. So gas, electric, water, council tax, TV, license, home insurance, life insurance. Oh my god, I'm trying to think of all the bills off the top of my head. There is a good few. Bins, you have to sort out bins.
Sky, well, what like
anything else that you want, like Wi-Fi. Like there is a lot of bills. Like we're still kind of catching up with stuff and doing stuff. Like it's not an instant thing. They're an overtime thing. I think that's most things. If I forgot anything, I'll write it on screen or whatever. But I think that's most things.
Or it's like that hard. Little, like pop up. You like webcam. Hey guys, me here, look like an egg. You know, you do that thing.
Okay, this is a good question. Okay. And I feel like we're going to end on this question. What is your favourite thing about living with each other? Ooh. So what's my favourite thing about living with you? And what's your favourite thing about living with me? Let's end on a positive note.
Oh, this is a hard
one. I'm just going to go cry into my bottle of wine.
You go first.
Why don't you go first? My favourite thing about living with Jake is being able to live with your best friend, right?
To laugh.
But laugh and actually have like always deep conversations if you need to. You guys know I don't have any friends and I'm not saying that to be like feel sorry for me. I'm just being completely real. Having Jake there is just like you constantly have like the best support or the best conversation, the best person to possibly speak to, and you have their company like 24/7, and it's great. And it also just makes me feel less like lonely as well. So that's my favorite thing, is being with my best friend all the time.
That's fucking cute, isn't it?
Oh, you know.
My favourite thing about living with Jordan, I get a lot of head. I get sucked off a lot. It's pretty good.
And wakey. Jake woke up.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's very hard to put my finger on it, yeah. But like, you wake up in the morning, you're just there. I don't have to text you. I hate fucking texting, right? And she's there. Like, I'm a speaker. Like, I know it sounds weird, but it's like she's just there. So like, it's an odd one, but yeah, you'd get it.
There are other questions we're going to answer. I'm going to cut it there. To be fair, there's probably more I could answer. However, I feel like I've covered the most part in terms of what I feel like you guys will want to know, or what I felt like I would want to know when I was doing the whole house buying process. I always wanted a video like this to watch and be able to like listen to. If though you do have any more questions, and if there's anything that you really want to know that I did miss, just comment them below and I'll be in the comments and I'll try to reply as many as possible. Hope this video helped. Love you guys. And yeah, I'll see you all soon with a new video. On this new like house series that we've got going on. This is house video number 2. Prepare for the next videos because it's gonna be fun.
Exciting stuff coming as well.
Lot.
We'll discuss something.
Ah!
I'm just gonna drop it in there. Cool.